Welcome back. This is my journey, my testimony. I'm sharing of my journey and my story because I believe that my story might be somebody else's survival guide. I'm gonna share it just as it happened. It's not to make anybody look bad. It's not to get in the way of anybody. I'm just sharing my story and just as it happened. In my last video, I shared of how my mom passed. It's back in 2008 and she is gone. I am the firstborn in a family of 5. So I am now left with the responsibility of taking care of my 4 siblings. Remember, the lastborn is only 7 years. And here I am, just a teenage girl who is supposed to assume the responsibilities of a mother. It's not easy and it was not easy. So I'm just gonna share some of the challenges I encountered. Remember, before my mom passed, nobody equipped me for such a responsibility or for such a role. It just happened overnight and here I am. I'm supposed to figure out how to make things happen because they are all looking up to me. They believe I'm able to do it. I had shared in an earlier video of how my dad sank into depression and the bottle became his friend. So he would most of his days or his time he would spend drinking. So I'm here all alone to figure out what we are supposed to eat and such. I remember before my mom passed, there were so many pumpkins in our farm, so many. Because I remember we used to eat the pumpkins even years after my mom passed, a few years even after her passing. So there was food, the provision of pumpkin, but remember you cannot only depend on pumpkins alone. And again, my dad would provide like flour, rice, and such. But the responsibility of completing the meal was mine. It was up to me to figure out what was supposed to accompany the flour, the ugali, or what was supposed to accompany the rice. And remember, because my mom had been sick for some time, nothing was, we had nothing in the farm. We had not planted and so we could not harvest in season. So we had nothing in the farm. So here I am. I'm cooking ugali, but I'm supposed to figure out what else to take with the ugali. And nothing in our farm. So I could not just watch my siblings go hungry. I had to figure out what to do. And in the village, there is no way you would go borrowing from your neighbor from Monday to Friday or from Monday to Monday. So you would go today and ask this neighbor for some spinach and sukuma wiki, but tomorrow you are not able to go back to the same person. So I had gone around all our neighbors asking for such potatoes, arrowroots, and such. And it hit me that I cannot keep asking for food from our neighbors. We also have farm. So I needed to do something to make sure I'm able to provide food for my siblings. But now you cannot plant today and still harvest tomorrow. So I had to figure out such. And you know, nobody even told me how to even plant. I was so ignorant. I know we used to plant, I used to accompany my parents to the farm, but I didn't even know when we are planting maize, we needed to do the holes or the mitaro. Such things were new to me. Apparently I didn't even know. I didn't know. It's because I was so dependent on my parents, especially on my mom. You know, when she's around and you have nothing to eat, you'll just report to her and tell her, Mom, we don't have this and this, and she's going to figure out where to get it from. There is nobody to report to. It's up to me to make sure that as my brothers come from school, they will find something to eat. I had completed my Form 4. I was supposed to join college, but now I cannot join college because I have to assume the responsibilities of taking care of my younger siblings. So it was not easy. And this is what I used to do. Sometimes I share it with my sisters and my brothers, and we all laugh together. So I had figured out the pattern of how our neighbors used to like prepare or just around. I had figured out a pattern of how they used to operate. So in the morning, they would wake up and go to the farms, others would go and others would go to their farms. And then around midday, everybody would be gone back home, maybe to milk or just take a rest. Around the evening at around 5 going to 6, they would come back to the farms to maybe take what they need for dinner. And then from there, nobody is around the farm going to 7. So that is the time I used to go into their farms, like pick what I needed. It was like manna. I could not take from their farms more than I needed. If it's sukuma wiki I needed, I would just go and just pluck the sukuma wiki quickly in their farms. And when it's enough in my hand, I would know it's enough. I would go and prepare a meal for my brothers and for my sisters. And if it's potatoes, I used to go with a kasuku, a 2 kg kasuku. That is what I used to carry along. It's at night, it's evening, and it's dark so that nobody would see me. I would go with the kasuku and just dig and take the potatoes I needed quickly. And you know, something can happen, anything can just happen. You are in somebody else's farm. They can even cut you because they are thinking you're a thief. That is how we survived. I have never shared this with my dad. I don't know even how, if he knows how we used to manage, but that is what I used to do. I could not watch my brothers and my sister go hungry, and yet our neighbors had planted food. I remember there is a day I went to one of our neighbors around that time, around 7. But you see, you would go during the day and just do a survey, and you will know today this is the farmer will come and get what I need. So I had done a survey during the day, and I knew where I would come and pick a banana, a whole plantain. So I come in the evening and I cut the whole banana and I carry it home. Then I had to hide it in my bedroom because I knew if my dad saw it, he would know it's not from our farm because we didn't have bananas that time. So I was supposed to be making the bananas with some potatoes and mix with the pumpkin. Yeah, we used to eat well. I could not look at my siblings just go hungry. And other people, our neighbors, are eating. So I used to go home and just like get what we needed. I know it's wrong, but I had to do it for us to survive. So this time I take a banana, and it's like my neighbor had also spotted the banana and she knew it's ready. So the following day she comes for it and she doesn't find it. She starts asking around. She even asked me if I know anything about the banana. But I could not admit. You know, we had to survive. Those are some of the things that you do when you are so desperate and when you have where to run to, and they make you appreciate the fact that your parents being around and providing don't take any effort they do for granted. I thank God because now I don't have to do that to even provide food for my children because God's grace is sufficient. It doesn't matter what you are going through. It doesn't matter the situation you are in today. I want to encourage you and to let you know that your tomorrow is better than your today. It doesn't matter what you are doing today to survive. Tomorrow is going to be better. Your tomorrow is greater. Your tomorrow is better. Take heart and just trust in God. He is a season changer. In this season, you can be taking things from people's land, but in the next season, it's you who is providing food to others. So he is a God of in and out of season. Trust him. Wait on him. And when the time is right, he's gonna make things perfect.